Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Hello and welcome to the Sideliners on Wire TV. So guys, first show back from winter break. What else to talk about besides some football? So let's start off with the championship games. NFL championship weekend just passed. So, I mean, say what you will, these games weren't really that great though.
Not
let's
at all.
start with the NFC game.
Okay, yep. So Aaron Rodgers ripping through the NFC as one would hope, you know?
Yep.
You heard him with 6 games left in the season. He goes, relax, I got this, we'll win out, we'll be all right. And he delivered, beating the number 1 seed Cowboys at Dallas, and then
Great game. That was a phenomenal
absolutely,
game.
and everybody's hyped up on the Packers bandwagon.
Can
you know,
anyone
then,
stop Ron Rodgers?
And the whole year, Matt Ryan has been kind of overlooked. I mean, yeah, people chitter-chatter MVP, but does he really have that respect?
Yep.
I mean, and he goes out great battle, and the Falcons just dominated. I mean, I haven't seen an offense like this since maybe Brady Moss, or even before that with the greatest show on turf. Yeah, with Warner. And I mean, they're just stacked. That was a great game.
Yeah, if you look at Matty Ice's stats, 392 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown.
College numbers.
I know the Packers' defense isn't great, but that's college. You don't do that to an NFL. That's disrespectful. You do that to an
especially in an NFC Championship game.
NFC
I don't know how he's not in
game.
MVP conversation.
Oh, he
still.
definitely is.
Like he has to be like up there, like a favorite now.
Oh,
if he wins the Super Bowl now, then he has to win. Then he has to be considered an elite quarterback now.
Oh, yeah.
Like there has to be no discussion. He's no longer Matty Choke. He's no longer this guy that can't get it done in the playoffs. He has to be considered an elite quarterback now. And Julio Jones is just he was so underrated all year because there's always talk about Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham Jr. Julio's like, okay, I raise you, a 300-yard game. I raise you me getting double teamed and going and dominating in an NFC Championship game. Like he could not be covered.
Nope.
At all.
The Packers secondary isn't great, but what he did to them on that 70-yard touchdown, where he's just pushing guys off him. It reminded me of the beast mode run, where no one could stop Marshawn Lynch. No one stopped Julio Jones on that play. No one was denying him a touchdown there. 9 catches, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Hall of Famer.
That guy's a beast. And I know you talk about him in the best wide receiver discussion. He's not Antonio Brown or Odell Beckham. Those guys they beat you with their feet. They beat you. They're not going to just catch the ball over the top of you. Julio Jones, you could put 3 guys on Julio Jones. That guy is a freak of nature.
Yep.
He will catch that and then shake off all 3 of those guys and run 75 yards for a touchdown.
Absolutely.
That guy's like Randy Moss in his prime.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Absolutely.
I thought, you mentioned it was a dominant game for the Falcons, and you can't argue. I mean, they were up, 24-0 at halftime?
Mm-hmm.
I thought this game turned when Mason Crosby missed the field goal.
Yep.
It was a 7-0 game. He had hit 23 in a row.
Yeah.
He just hit 2 50-yarders the week before.
Yeah.
And it was dome conditions.
And it was in a dome. Misses I think it was like a 41-yard field goal. Falcons go down the field, kick a field goal, make it 10-0. Packers march down the field again. Mm-hmm. It looks like Aaron Ripkowski's about to punch it in, and then Jalen Collins just rips the ball out of his hands, gets a touchback, and Falcons ball 10-0. They move down the field.
That's it.
I thought that was a turn. That after the Falcons scored again, there was really nothing the Packers could do. No. I mean, that game was over at that point, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they just ran away.
Yeah, that was the symbolism for the entire game right there. Ripkowski almost there, fumbles, and Falcons just took it straight out of his hands, and that's what the Falcons did with the game against the Packers.
Yep.
I mean, you have to give the Packers credit. They went from 4-6 to Rodgers coming out of nowhere saying, yeah, we're going to run the table. And they almost got to the Super Bowl. Like, they got on the doorstep. So you have to give them credit. But in the end, when you go down 17-0 in an NFC Championship game, you 24-0. You put Rodgers on the back foot, and that means, the defense is confident. They're saying, okay, you have to pass. Test us, please. And the game was over by then.
Yeah, and a few people would say that Aaron Rodgers choked, but this team was riddled with injuries. I mean, riddled with injuries. And you have Jordy Nelson. This guy just got his ribs broken the week before, and he played in this game. They're on a running back who's not even a running back. This guy's a wide receiver. He looks good as a running back, but he's a wide receiver.
Running back.
Their secondary, especially their defensive backs, picked apart by injuries. riddled, like I said, with injuries. And the fact that he was able to go from 4-6, like you said, to the NFC Championship game, beat one of the best teams in the league, the Cowboys, it looked like.
Huge success.
Can't say anything else.
Huge success for the Packers. The better team definitely won at the end of the day, though.
I
The
definitely
Falcons
agree with that.
more than deserve to represent the NFC in the
I
Super Bowl.
definitely agree with that. So, one final thing. This is the first Super Bowl appearance for the Falcons since 1999. They lost that game. That was John Elway's final game, so it's nice to see them get back to it. But it's going to be a good game, I feel like. So you move on to the AFC Championship game. Patriots win this one, of course, 36-17.
They always win it.
Yep.
36-17, and it wasn't even that close, to be honest. Like, that's not a close score, but it wasn't. It was further than that. Like, the Steelers scored at the end of the game. What'd you guys think of this one?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I could have wrote you the script and submitted it and said, all right, yeah, this is going to happen. I mean, Brady steamrolls through the AFC Championship game as he has done for years and years and years. The Patriots just, it doesn't matter at this point who Tom Brady's throwing the ball to, who he's handing the ball off to. I mean, they get it done with their three running backs in the backfield. I mean, the emergence of these guys. Chris Hogan, who's he? Where did he come from? I mean, like,
Who's Chris Hogan? He had 9 catches, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. Those are Julio Jones numbers right there.
Exactly.
Chris Hogan's the second best receiver in the NFL. And right up there.
Yeah, he is. I mean, right now.
Hype talk immediate.
But, I mean, and you look at that defense, the Patriots defense, after trading Jamie Collins, #1 in the NFL, since trading one of their best players.
Yep.
Bill Belichick is a mastermind. Tom Brady, the best to ever touch a football. I'm excited for this game.
Why do we ever doubt Belichick? Like, Brady goes down for the first 4 games. He's like, yeah, I'll throw in Garoppolo. All right, 3-1 to start the season. Like, why do we ever doubt him? He's just like, every time you put any type of doubt in him, he finds these random guys like Chris Hogan. Like
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, he always finds this one player that plays lacrosse for 3 years in college. He's like, yeah, I'll play football for a year. All right, you're useful. 9 catches, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns in an AFC Championship game. Like, the way he brings the best out of any type of player is unlike any coach to ever go on the sidelines of a football field. It's insane.
Best head coach quarterback duo of all time, and this is coming from a diehard Jets fan. It pains me to say this. Like, it literally pains me to say this, but they are. And you mentioned how Tom Brady always does this to Mike Tomlin. Yep. I heard this stat the other day. Against Mike Tomlin in the playoffs, Brady has 22 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Like, literally picks apart that defense.
And the Steelers pride themselves on defense.
Yeah, that's their bread and butter. Like, regardless of what you think of the Killer Bees, like, that has been their bread and butter for years. The one thing I didn't like about this game, besides the Patriots winning, was Le'Veon Bell going down. I would have liked to see. I thought once he went down, that was probably the game.
Yeah.
I love Antonio Brown, but once Le'Veon Bell goes down, they could literally only focus on Antonio Brown. Like, no one else on that team is going to beat them. The Steelers are as dangerous as they are because they have Le'Veon Bell opening up so much space. I mean, the guy played 2 playoff games and set the record for Steelers rushing yards in both those playoffs games. Like, he's an animal. And once he went down, it was kind of like, it was really tough to watch. Because you robbed them of their identity at that point. So, it doesn't shock me that they won. The Patriots won.
But I'm definitely looking forward to the Super Bowl matchup. As we've been alluding to so far, I mean, Falcons, Patriots, Tom Brady, will he get his 5th? Will he become officially the best ever? Will Matt Ryan get his 1st? Will he become an elite quarterback now? I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Who's your favorites?
Falcons.
It's got to be the Falcons.
Falcons.
I'm on the Falcons train.
Totally not a sentimental pick, but yes, the Falcons.
We'll save most of our talk about it for next week, but I'm rolling with the Dirty Birds here. Let's get it.
Little preview.
So, let's talk a little bit national championship game. Obviously, it happened a little while ago at this point, but we were on break. This is the first show back, and you can't not talk about it. We got to talk about that game. Like you said, one of the best college football championship games of all time, really. You have Alabama, the Patriots of college football, going up against Dabo Swinney and a really fun team to watch in the Clemson Tigers. What do you guys think of that game?
Wow, breathtaking. I mean, I thought Clemson had no chance in the world, as did, I would say, tons of people in America. I mean, how long has Alabama been ingrained in your head when you think national championships in college football? And the team that they had this year was something special. There was something that they were saying, could this be the best college football team of all time?
Not even like the best defense ever, but the best team ever.
Team overall. And to see what Deshaun Watson did, matching up with Renfro again, Mike Williams being back this year and playing a huge role in the game, and that Clemson defense finding little ways to stop the Alabama offense and keeping the game manageable for them to come back in the second half. Wow. It was a movie script. Absolutely fantastic game.
Yep.
The Clemson team was so much fun to root for, not only because everyone hates Bama, it's also because, you had the rematch from last year, you had all this animosity, you had all this hype and buildup. And yes, that was the greatest Alabama team up until that point, until they found a way to stop them. You mentioned that their defense was absolutely incredible. They put up 35 on them. And not only that, they put up 21 on them in the fourth quarter when it's crunch time, and they really locked down. They found a way to find these little seams, a 22-yard score to change momentum back to them, and a pick play to win the national championship with 1 second to go. The way they found that offense in the fourth quarter, seemingly out of nowhere, made Dabo Swinney an immediate Clemson legend. He found answers.
Yeah. Great game.
Let's talk about that pick play real quick. Do you think that was a penalty?
It's referee's discretion, to be honest. I've seen it called. I've seen it not called. It's all a matter because I saw the defensive player initiate the contact a little bit. I saw him extend his arms out a little bit. I mean, if it was called, I wouldn't complain. If it was called.
If you look at the video, it looks like the defender for Alabama is grabbing the jersey and pulling him down. So that's why I think it wasn't called. I know some people are comparing it to the Chiefs-Steelers call, the holding penalty that was called against, the holding call on James Harrison. I don't think they're related at all. I think that was holding.
Really?
And I do. I think, but I also think there's holding on 75% of the plays in football. Like it's the old adage, you can call holding on every single play.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you call that there? I don't know. But was it holding? Yeah. Is that a pick play? I don't think it is because I think I don't think it was so much of the Clemson player going down, trying to get him out. I think it was the Alabama defender pulling him down. I think that's what I thought.
That is your typical crossing route on the goal line, free up your inside receiver for that out route. But like you said, the defensive player initiated the contact. That's why you really can't call that.
Yeah. And show me the referee that calls that with 1 second left to decide a national championship game.
Yeah,
and
no
I'll
chance.
show you a guy who's got the biggest guts in the world. Willing to take on the world at that point.
Oh, yeah. No.
But let's break down this game because this game was special. I mean, I thought a really key factor here, and I hate to say it, was Bo Scarborough getting hurt because he was just carving up Clemson's defense. I mean, 16 carries, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he was just, no one could stop. It reminded me a lot of Derrick Henry last year, where he was just bulldozing guys. No one stopped him.
You take out a huge element of their offense.
Yeah, he goes down. They have their other running backs, Damian Harris, got that crucial first down when it was 4th and 2 yards on their final scoring play. They have more good guys, but they're not the kind of runners that Bo is, where he just bullies you. Like the typical Alabama running back, like Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson, Derrick Henry.
And then you remove him from the offense, and now you have a freshman quarterback calling the shots.
Who has to beat you through the air now.
Has to. I mean, you're forcing the hand on Jalen Hurts, and did it hurt them? I don't think it hurt them as much as you would expect. I still think he played well through it.
Yeah.
But Clemson smelled the blood in the air and just pounced on it and pounced on the opportunity. And it's unfortunate that he has a broken leg too. It's not just something that lasts
it wasn't
couple
like
weeks. It's a full
something
recovery.
that people, you could have played like Jay Cutler in the NFC Championship game where he's riding the bike. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, no.
Alabama fans should lay off Bo if anything like that is going on. Like, he broke his leg.
Definitely looking forward to seeing him play on Sundays.
Oh, he's going to be a beast
in the future. Absolutely.
Do you think, as the game wore on, the change in offensive coordinator had an effect on the outcome of the game?
I think you can make that argument, but
I think it's kind of unfair.
I don't, because it's not like Sark wasn't there the whole year. He was around the guys the whole time. He might not have the same camaraderie that Kiffin had with Hurts, but besides that, I feel like that's the only thing. And it's not like you're talking about a guy who they were asking to throw the ball 50 times a game. So I don't think it really had too much. I mean, you look at some of the plays towards the end of the game. They had the trick play to O.J. Howard.
Yeah,
I think that was right before Jalen Hurts' touchdown. I think you have Jalen Hurts getting the touchdown.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to say that. I don't think that was the reason why they lost. I think they just lost because Clemson's the better team, in my opinion, on that night.
And at the end of the day, you have to find a way to win, regardless of who's your offensive coordinator. It's a national championship game. You're going to show out. You got to play,
But one more thing. I mean, you mentioned Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah.
Carves him up again. 10 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Williams, 8 catches, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. They weren't going to lose this night.
No.
Deshaun Watson had a great game. It was just
They just
What else can you
could not
say?
It was the perfect match. You have
What else can you say?
a quarterback that can run, avoid Alabama's pressure. You have Mike Williams, future stud in the NFL, one of the best wide receivers in all of college football this year, and run for a speedy guy that can get open. And he gave Alabama problems last year, and then this year he burned them and got himself a ring.
Yep. So that's going to do it for our football discussion. We'll be back after the short break to talk some basketball and the MLB Hall of Fame selection.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
All right, good stuff. And we'll be back after this quick commercial break.
All right, good stuff, guys. We got 30 seconds. We'll come back and we'll talk about basketball, right? Talk about basketball?
Yeah, sounds good. The Knicks have been horrible lately.
Yeah. All right.
Always coming for us.
All right. Let's dump out and we'll come back in 5, 4, 3, 2. Take 2. Cue talent.
Yeah, I don't think his mic's working.
Should we go fix that?
Nah. Let's leave it.
We're good.
This is Sideliners.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
The It's On Us pledge is a personal commitment to help keep men and women safe from sexual assault.
It is a promise to not be a bystander to the problem,
but to be a part of the solution.
As a SUNY Oneonta student athlete, I am proud to take the pledge. I pledge
to help keep men and women safe from sexual assault.
I promise
not to be a bystander to the problem,
but a part of the solution.
I pledge to recognize that non-consensual sex is sexual assault.
To identify situations
in which sexual assault may occur.
To intervene
in situations where consent cannot or has not been given.
To create an environment
in which sexual assault is unacceptable and survivors are supported.
Join us and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I pledge to help stop sexual assault.
All right, and we're back on the Sideliners for YTV. So we're going to talk some basketball this segment. You have some trade rumors involving Kyle Korver, Carmelo Anthony. You have going to college basketball. We have Grayson Allen tripping, kicking, doing literally whatever he wants on the court. And then I want to talk a little bit about the MLB Hall of Fame. So let's get into it with basketball. So the Cavs get Kyle Korver. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, smart move on their part. They're going to need that, especially when they have LeBron and Kyrie mixing it up in the middle. Or even if Kyrie stays back, you just send LeBron in, let him get quadruple teamed as he does, and then just kick it out to Love, Shumpert, Korver, Kyrie. I mean, they just have shooters everywhere. So,
you've got Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye. The list goes on and on.
It's dangerous. That is it. Kyle Korver has been doing it for years. That's a dangerous pickup. I mean, although it hasn't translated, now you see they've lost their last 3 games.
Last 3 and 6 of the last 7.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't blame that on the Korver pickup. I wouldn't say, but I mean,
I don't think so either.
But I mean, they're not winning with him. But I think come crunch time in the playoffs, it'll pay off huge dividends for the Cavs.
I mean, honestly, LeBron James asked for that. You know what I'm saying? We all know LeBron James as the face of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's the face of Cleveland in general.
Exactly. So he asked for that. You know what I'm saying? He's asking for assets, and
is he even asking at this point, or is he just saying go get me that guy?
He's demanding it,
and he's getting it.
He's getting whatever he's asking.
He's still saying they don't have enough.
Right. Yeah. And at the end of the day, he wants to beat the Warriors again because I can see how this season is about to play out. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Kyle Korver was a great asset. Now, on the other hand, is he going to stay in Cleveland? I don't think so because, you know what I'm saying, sometimes
Korver?
I don't think Korver is going to stay in Cleveland because, you know, it's an easy championship if you want to say. It's an easy way of getting a championship. But, I mean, you want to build off of something else, not just LeBron James. So I feel like a lot of people are trying to do that. But he's a great shooter. Great asset, like you said. You can kick out the Iman Shumpert, you can kick out the Kyrie, you can kick out the Channing Frye, you can kick out to anybody. You're just literally just adding an extra threat to the three-point asset to that whole Cleveland Cavaliers roster. So,
do you think it made sense for the Hawks? Because it didn't seem like they got like anything for it.
I mean, honestly, I feel like they did it just to get rid of him.
Which is weird.
Get rid of his contract.
And couldn't they get this is Kyle Korver we're talking about, one of the best three-point shooters of all time.
Absolutely.
You can't get anything for Kyle Korver?
I mean, could the Knicks have gotten something for Iman Shumpert and J.R. Smith?
Well, we can talk about a lot of bad trades if the Knicks made. That could be a whole show.
But why are the Cavs running around and just like, let me get Kyle Korver. Oh, let me get J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert. Take the second-round pick.
Well, LeBron wants a point guard now.
I mean, he has Kyrie Irving. He doesn't see I don't see how Kyrie Irving's not a playmaker. Kyrie Irving, he's an amazing passer. He's ball on a string. I mean, I think
he wants somebody off the bench.
Backup guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, last year they had Mo
like
Williams.
How they had Delly.
Yeah, and
but Delly was that great defensive point guard. You know, when he guarded Steph Curry in the finals that year. So
I think they're gonna need a veteran point guard. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in a veteran point guard, someone who's been in the mix for a little while now, knows how to run an offense, especially knows how to handle runs. Because when you come in off the bench, you can be facing a 16-2 run. All right, how do I stop this? Slow it down. Run this play. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go out and find somebody like that.
Well, I think he specifically mentioned that he was upset that they didn't get guys like Raymond Felton or Michael Beasley, who signed for veteran minimums.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I understand Felton to a degree because he's the point guard.
Right.
But at some point, the Cavs are already spending more money than anyone in basketball.
Yeah. Right.
He wants them to spend baseball money, but they don't have the TV deals that baseball teams have. It's crazy what he's asking for.
I mean, he's asking for guys like Raymond Felton. I mean, me personally, I feel like he should go for a guy like Nate Robinson. Small guy, but Nate Robinson is electric off the bench. If you look at times when he was with New York, electric. Chicago, he was really great, especially in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So a guy like Nate Robinson, just because he's pretty small, doesn't mean he can't bring something to the team. That veteran attitude that you said, right? So
Absolutely.
I mean, Nate Robinson is definitely something they should look into. I don't see Raymond Felton going to Cleveland. I don't see why they would want Raymond Felton. He's not as productive. He doesn't produce as much as Nate Robinson can. Or,
they're definitely better guys than Raymond Felton.
Way more better guys.
So let's move on to college basketball. We'll talk about Grayson Allen. Trips the third guy, almost tripped another guy. If that guy, I believe it was Boston College, I want to say. Didn't have the balance to step over what Grayson Allen was trying to do. I feel like there's a new story with him every week about what. Do you think the infinite suspension, which turned into a game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone think that was enough time?
I mean, I don't know if suspending him will do anything. I think because it's not like it's I guess it is a habit.
You can't say it's not a habit.
But
at
I
this
mean,
point.
just sit down with the kid and listen. Don't trip people. Play basketball. Don't trip somebody.
You don't think Coach K's done that by now, though?
He
This
must
is
have.
the third time.
That's true.
This is the third time.
That is true.
When you go to a school, I'm sorry for cutting you off, Manny, but when you go to a school like Duke University and you have a coach like Coach K, one of the most legendary coaches to ever coach basketball, and you're sitting here tripping guys 3-4 times, and you get suspended for one game, I mean, obviously everybody's gonna make a big deal out of that, right? I mean, I personally feel like he should have been suspended for maybe 5. You have to learn your lesson. You gotta understand that this is not how you get to where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he's learned his lesson. He had an incident in the game against Louisville where Donovan Mitchell slapped him in the face. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you got guys, especially you're in the ACC. I mean, this is a great basketball conference.
But that's why you need him. You need him on the floor. You're in the ACC. You're going up against North Carolina State, Florida State, all these Virginia. I mean, it's stacked. I mean, you need him on the court. I would just punish him in another way, maybe, if possible.
So, finish up on our Grayson Allen talk there. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and mention our congratulations for the MLB Hall of Fame selection.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof. And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And that's the last time I threw a beer around our test.
I believe you, man. What a time. All right, so that'll do it for another episode of the Sideliners on Wire TV.
And this is Sideliners.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
All right, welcome back to the Sideliners on Wire TV. So guys, 2017 Major League Baseball Hall of Fame selection just came in. We're inducting 3 new members. Tim Raines, finally.
Yeah.
Jeff Bagwell, Pudge Rodriguez. What do you guys think?
Big fan of Tim Raines getting voted in. I mean, if you look at his stats over the course of his career, how is he not a Hall of Famer? I mean, look at his stolen base percentage alone. Just that one category. I know people are you have to be a complete player, but the numbers are just unreal. And Pudge Rodriguez, one of the best defensive catchers of all time, one of the best top 10 offensive catchers of all time. Huge fan of him. Jeff Bagwell, I mean, yeah, he has all these home runs, but would you say in his game he was one of the top players of his era, the steroid era, which we also have to keep in mind?
I think you could make the argument that he was the second best first baseman since like Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
I think the only first baseman better than him is Pujols.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think Jeff Bagwell is that good. I mean, Rookie of the Year, MVP, all those All-Star appearances, the lifeblood of Houston.
Yeah.
So
but
I think you can.
He's also, there's some rumors with him and some HGH. And if you're going to keep, I mean, they did let Piazza in last year and he had the same rumors. So I guess I could see that.
I get what you're saying.
The thing about all 3 of those guys is they made their franchise what it is today. All of them brought talent, and they made everybody on the baseball team better. They made everybody better around them. They made the organization look good. I mean, I grew up a Pudge Rodriguez fan, and I even had a Pudge Rodriguez jersey, so it was pretty cool to even see Pudge get inducted to the Hall of Fame. He deserved it, for real.
Definitely.
All right. Awesome talk there, guys. That's going to do it for the first episode for the spring semester 2017. Thank you for joining us on the Sideliners on Wire TV, and we'll see you next time.